Elgato is sponsoring me to teach you how to add a music source to your Elgato Wave 1 microphone setup. What do I mean by that? Well, here's what I mean. So the Elgato Wave 1 mic comes with this WaveLink software that allows you to bring in audio sources from anywhere in your home studio and your setup into one digital mixer, including Spotify. I've got Spotify running right here on this computer. So here's how you do it. In order to get to this phase, you need to have the mic plugged in, update your firmware, get the software installed, do your basic Windows settings. If you haven't done all of that, don't worry, I've got tutorial videos on all of that on the channel. Just go back and watch those to catch up to where we are today, where all the basics are hooked up. Cool. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to take whatever it is that we're playing in terms of music, if it's Spotify and otherwise, and we're going to open that program and we are going to find some music and hit play on that music. Why? So whenever you hit play on that music, it's going to activate that as a source that can be captured by your computer. If you're not already playing the music, then you can't capture the music through the method that we're going to talk about, okay? So next step is that you are going to route your music within the WaveLink software by adding an input for the music here. Then we are going to route it in Windows. Don't worry, it's very simple. I'll walk you step by step through it. So first things first, let's go to an empty channel on your WaveLink software and click the plus button to add a new input. I recommend selecting the music option because it makes the most sense for your brain. Got it. So once you do that, and I am going to do this just for the tutorial so we don't get feedback, I'm going to mute there. You don't have to mute there. What I recommend is doing the drop-down menu here under music and selecting whatever your music playback service is. Let's call mine is Spotify today. Yours can be whatever it is yours is. It works the same for all music playback services. Got it? So you've routed it to music, then you've named it whatever it's actually called to help your brain out. Check. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to route the audio in Windows so that it goes through that music option that we just selected there. The way that you do that is you go down to, in Windows, you're going to search and you're going to go to sound, you're going to type in the word sound, and then you're going to see sound mixer options down there. That's the menu that you're looking to get to today. So when you click sound mixer options, click, it's going to pull up this menu right here that you see on the screen right in front of us. So when you get here, this may be confusing, but trust me, it's very simple to do the routing. What you're going to do is scroll down to your music service. Let's say it's Spotify. And under the first box, you're going to select, doesn't that look familiar? WaveLink Music. There you go. So now you're routing the Spotify playback through that music channel we just opened up in your WaveLink. Then when you're selecting the next menu, I recommend for most of you guys choosing WaveLink Stream. It will depend on if you're doing some special routing, but let's just do WaveLink Stream as a good default for most of you guys to select for the second option. The most important thing is that you've selected WaveLink Music as your first option. Now that you've routed it in the WaveLink software here, and you've selected music, and then in Windows, you've selected WaveLink Music as your output, then what you will be able to do next is actually play the music and have it pumping in through the WaveLink software. So I'm going to unmute the music right now, and there it is. So you notice how the music is now coming through, and we now have levels coming through on the music right here for Spotify. Now, one thing that you need to note is that you can change how much of that music, whether you hear or not the music through your headphones by clicking this button, whether it goes through the stream mix or not by clicking this button, and you can choose the volume levels of how much you hear it in your headphones versus how much you hear it in the stream mix using these volume levels here. Also, if you want to monitor the stream mix, let's say you're pumping the music through the stream mix for your audience, you can click the ear button here to monitor it there, or you can click the ear button here to monitor your monitor mix in your headphones separately. But I will be quiet for a moment and watch what's happening in the mixer down here. Notice how the volume levels are significantly higher under the stream mix and they're lower under the monitor mix. That's because I've muted my Spotify playback in my monitor mix by clicking the mute button down here, and it's only playing back in my playback mix. I highlight for that for you guys because you can choose whether music sources are heard just by you and or by your audience. So you may want to live stream, for example, and listen to music through your headphones, but not have that be a part of the broadcast. Maybe you want to listen to copyright music, right? But you can't play it back because you'll get copyright struck. This gives you the option to only listen to it and or to play it back for your audience. The Wavelink software gives you that complete control on how your music is routed within your computer. Thank you so much for watching. Pick up the Wave 1 microphone, links below, and the official accessory links are down there. Adios, amigos. If you'd like to capture and mix your internet browser source in the Elgato Wavelink software using your Wave 1 microphone, this is the tutorial video for you. I'm talking about Chrome, Firefox, Internet Edge, whatever you're using. It's all exactly the same. What do I mean by that? You can capture any audio from any of your internet browsers, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, some random video, I don't know, something on TikTok, whatever it may be, and you can route that all in through this digital mixer, Wavelink digital mixer, and have that be a part of a dynamic mix. This software comes for free with your Elgato Wave 1 microphone. Check it out. Here's what you're going to do. So first things first, pull up your internet browser and play something. So in this example, I'm just playing one of my tutorial videos on the Elgato Wave 3, okay? The reason why you're going to play something as you're setting this up is it's going to activate this source in your system so that you can actually route it into the software. So play something first. Check. That's step one. Step two, you're going to go to one of your empty channels here in the Wavelink software, and you're going to click the plus button to add an input. I recommend adding a browser here. It just makes sense for your brain, right? Click the menu down button and then go ahead and name it whatever your internet browser is or whatever makes sense to your brain. For me, I'll choose Chrome. I'll say Chrome, but for you, change it to something that makes sense to your brain and makes your life easier. I'm going to mute my monitor mix right now because you'll get feedback in this tutorial if I don't. Cool. That's step two. The last step here to route everything through in your audio is to pull up this menu in Windows. So in order to access this menu, what you're going to do is you're going to type in the word sound in your search bar. And then once you type in the word sound, you're going to see the sound mixer options right there as the menu. Choose that menu and that will let you route the audio in your system appropriately. That will bring up this menu. Now, I know you may get intimidated by all the menus here and it may seem confusing, but just do what I'm telling you to do. And once you set it, you're setting it and forgetting it, and it just works forever. So scroll down, and as you can see, because we already started playing something in Google Chrome, it has Google Chrome as a source here. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the first drop-down menu, and you're going to choose Wavelink Browser. The thing we just set up, right? Browser in the Wavelink. And the second option, I don't like leaving it on default. I like selecting Wavelink Stream as a standard setting that I like to use, but you may have some other mixing configuration that you want. That's just a good standard option for setups. Got it? So once you've done that, let's be clear. You now have your source playing in your browser. You have something playing. You've linked it in Wavelink software, and you have it routed in your system. So now that you've done that, all the wires are connected. And so now all you have to do is unmute the playback on whatever you're playing. And there it is. All of our beautiful audio is coming through Google Chrome right here into this mixer. And we can now mix it as we see fit, separate from our mic. So for example, I muted the monitor output here. That means that it's not coming through this monitor mix right here. Nice. I could also mute the stream output, and then it wouldn't be coming through our stream mix. We can also adjust the volume levels on the monitor mix, what we hear in our headphones, versus the stream mix, what the viewers are going to hear in the recording as we see fit. And what's really cool about this is you can choose whether you're listening to your monitor mix by clicking the ear here, or your stream mix by clicking the ear here. You choose. So you have the option here to choose to maybe listen to something on your internet browser without having your audience even hear it, right? And the way you would do that is by clicking the mute stream mix button and clicking unmute on the monitor mix, and then you'll hear it, but the audience won't hear it. Or vice versa. If you want the audience to hear something, but you don't want to hear it, mute it through your monitor mix here, and then let it play back through the stream mix here. The options are endless for you to be able to do a simple digital mix of your internet browser source right here in the software versus every other audio source on your computer. So simple, right? Awesome. I hope you enjoy. The possibilities are endless, right? If you can pull in audio from an internet browser, and if you want to pick up the Elgato Wave 1 and its official accessories, I'm going to have some links below. Adios, amigos. Elgato is sponsoring me to teach you how to bring in game audio through your Elgato Wave 1 microphone. What do you mean? How do you bring in game audio through a microphone? It's pretty cool. So using the Wavelink software that comes for free with the Elgato Wave 1 microphone, you can connect game audio, music, chat, your own microphone, all of that stuff in a simple digital audio mixer right on your computer. This mixer, the Wavelink software. If you don't already have the software set up, your mic hooked up, and you aren't already at this step in the process, watch my previous tutorial videos. They'll get you caught up to where we're at right now. Got it. So the first step that you're going to do in order to make this happen is to open a game. So right now I have Cyberpunk 2077 open on my computer and it's running. Cool. Run whatever game you're going to run. Check. That's step one. Step two, in your Wavelink software, you're going to click the Add Audio Input button here, and you're going to choose Game. So when you do that, I recommend naming it whatever game you're playing, or you can leave it as game audio, whatever you want to do. But I like naming it something that makes sense to my brain. It really does help. So choose whatever it is you want to name it. Check. Awesome. I'm going to mute my monitor mix so we don't get mega feedback during this tutorial. You do not have to do that. That's step two. So we just added it to game here in the Wavelink software. The third step that we need to do is we need to pull up this menu right here in our system so that we can route the audio to the Wavelink software. How do we do that? Easy. So you go down in Windows and you type in sound, and it's going to pull up sound mixer options right here, and click sound mixer options, and it'll pull up the menu we're looking at right here. Now, you may be intimidated by all the inputs and outputs and you go, oh God, this is going to be terrible. No, it's actually going to be very easy. Just follow the steps, come along with me. Scroll down and go down to wherever your game is. As you can see, Cyberpunk 2077 is right there for me. What you're going to do is you're going to click the first menu and you're going to choose Wavelink Game as your option there. There it is, Wavelink Game. Check. The next option, you're going to choose Wavelink Stream. Now you don't have to, but I recommend clicking that as your default option for you guys. I don't recommend leaving it on default right here. You may want to do a custom mixing configuration for this second setting. That's up to you. But generally speaking, I do Wavelink Stream as the second option. Got it? Now I turned my volume down earlier so that I wouldn't blow your faces off as I start the video. So I'm going to turn mine up. You should start at 100. Got it? So your volume should be on, should be game, Wavelink Game and Wavelink Stream just as a starting point. Got it? Now, as you can see, our game audio is now pumping through the Wavelink mixer. Sweet, right? And here's some interesting settings that you can do that will really take your mixing game to the next level. So for example, I've muted it in my monitor mix, so I don't hear the game right now in my monitor mix. If I wanted to hear it in my monitor mix in my headphones, I could just click this button and it would pump it right through my headphones. If I want to listen, if I don't want the audience to hear the game audio, I can click this button and mute it, and boom, now the audience doesn't hear it. And you can adjust the volume levels on how loud the game is in your headphones here on the left versus what the viewers hear here on the right, which is awesome. You can also choose whether you're monitoring, whether you're listening to what's going in your monitor mix by clicking the ear here, or whether you're listening to what viewers hear by clicking the ear here as you're setting up that mix and understanding what the viewer experience is going to be like. I'm going to be quiet for a moment and watch what's happening. You see how the volume levels here on the bottom were higher than the volume levels on the top? Right? Obviously, that's because I've muted my game in my monitor mix, which was the top, but I've let the game audio pump through in my stream mix, which is the bottom. And so that's the power of this mixing option. So for example, if you wanted to pull up some game audio and check it out and listen to it first before the audience hears it to make sure everything's good, you could just mute the audience playback and unmute the monitor mix. Or if you wanted to do vice versa, you don't want to listen to the game audio, but you do want the audience to hear it, you could mute in your headphones by clicking the headphones button, and you could play it back by unclicking this button and letting the audio go through in your playback mix. The possibilities are endless, and it is super simple for you to set up for the first time. That's the power of the Elgato Wave 1. I love this microphone. I've recommended the Wave 3 to dozens of my clients, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Adios, amigos. Pick up the Wave 1 and its official accessories in the links below. Elgato is sponsoring me to teach you how to connect Discord audio or any other voice chat program for that matter to the Elgato Wave 1 microphone. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is that you can pull up Discord or any other voice chat communications program on your computer, and you can boot it up and route the audio going from that call for an interview or for a collaboration, whatever it may be, a meeting, into the Elgato Wavelink software and bring that together in a simple digital mix that's easy to manage. I'm going to go over all the settings that you'll want to consider when doing this. It can get a little hairy. It can get a little complicated when it comes to routing Discord. Let me try to simplify it to the easiest possible application for you. Got it? Step 1. Open up Discord. So, for example, I have my Discord open right now, and I have joined a voice chat in Discord. So I recommend doing those 2 steps. Open up Discord, jump on a call, jump into voice chat, whatever it is, and just activate that source, essentially, on your computer to be able to start capturing it and setting it up. That's step 1. Step 2, in your Elgato Wavelink software, if you don't already have your Wavelink software up and running and your firmware installed and all of that, previous tutorial videos covering all the basic setup to reach this step. Then you're going to click in an empty channel, add audio input, and you'll want to choose voice chat. Once you choose voice chat, I recommend selecting the voice chat as a name of whatever the program is you're capturing to help your brain, but you can decide what you want to do there. In my case here in this tutorial is Discord, right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute the monitor mix so I don't get feedback out the yin yang when I do this during the tutorial. That's step 2. Got it? So we routed it in Wavelink to Wavelink voice chat. Check. Next, you're going to want to pull up this menu within your system settings. Now, if you don't know what this menu is, it's easy. You can just search for it in Windows, for example, by clicking sound or typing sound, and you'll see sound mixer options down here. Go ahead and do sound mixer options. It'll pull up this menu. Now, there's a whole lot of settings in here. Do not be intimidated. It's very simple. So we're just going to scroll down, and you're going to see probably 2 instances of Discord listed below. It's okay. I'm going to give you some simple default settings that can make sense. So for the top boxes under Discord, you're going to choose Wavelink voice chat here and Wavelink voice chat here. Got it? That will connect it to your Wavelink software. Then for the second input here, you've got a decision to make, and I'll try to make this simple for you. For most of you guys, you're going to want to choose mic in here and mic in here. What do I mean by that? Just do these settings and I'll explain what I mean by that in Discord. You ready? All right. So we're going to pull open Discord here. And so what I mean by that is go into Discord now as your 4th step, and I'll try to explain how the audio routing is working here so that you can make your decisions based on what your setup is. So if you don't know how to pull up your settings in Discord, go by next to your name, your avatar down here at the bottom, and click User Settings, and it'll pull up this menu. Then you're going to go to Voice and Video right here, click that. So here's your decision, basically in Discord. You get to choose what your input device is in Discord. What does that mean? So this is basically what the audience is going to hear on Discord specifically. So if you only want the people you're talking to on Discord to hear your voice, then you're going to select mic in as your input device. If you want people on Discord to hear your entire stream mix of all the things you're putting together for your final recording, choose Wavelink Stream. And if you want folks on Discord to hear only what you're hearing in your headphones, then choose Wavelink Monitor. And when you change those settings here in Discord, depending on what it is, I want you to mirror those settings in Windows. So what do I mean by that? So if in Discord, we decided that we wanted to, instead of doing mic in, we wanted to change it to monitor here. What you're going to do in that Windows menu I pulled up a moment ago is you're going to want to, instead of doing mic in here, you're going to change it to monitor, and you're going to change it to monitor. Got it? So you're going to mirror the settings from what you're doing in Discord here in the Windows settings. Makes sense? But I think for most of you, what you will want people to hear in Discord will be mic in, aka they will only hear what you're saying through the microphone. 90% of you guys, that's the configuration that you're going to want to do. Check. Awesome. Then also in Discord, what you're going to want to do is choose your output device manually. And in Windows, we selected Wavelink Voice Chat, but I want you to manually select Wavelink Voice Chat right here under Output Device as well. Got it? Those are the default settings, and I hope that explanation made it simple as to what the people on Discord are hearing versus what's happening in your mix in Wavelink. The final setting I want you to consider here when you are using Discord to capture is to go over here in notifications, and I recommend disabling all notifications in Discord while you're recording. And so don't let any of your sounds, you see the sounds in the sound menu here, disable all of your sounds in Discord. No rings, no bings, no clicks, no any of that stuff should be coming through in Discord. That it will be extremely annoying to your viewers. Then once the other person joins in Discord and they start talking to you, that will pump through with the settings I've told you right here in Discord, and you'll start seeing volume levels here under the Discord source in your Wavelink software. Once that happens, you can choose how you mix that person talking to you and their vocals coming through. So you can decide whether you want or not to hear them in your headphones by clicking this button and what the volume level is that you hear them in your headphones. Check. You can choose whether they go through in your stream mix or not in your recording by muting or unmuting this, or changing the volume of how loud they are on Discord in your stream mix volume selection. Cool. And the other settings that you want to know about is if you want to check and make sure that your monitor mix, what you're hearing in your headphones, is good for you, click the ear button here. And if you want to make sure that what the audience is going to hear is properly mixed, then you click the ear button here. That's how you mix between Discord and your Wavelink software. So let's just do a quick summary, because I know this is one of the more complicated things to do with this microphone. Step one, open Discord and pull up and join a chat room and get an active source going on your computer. Step two, add a channel here within the Wavelink software and choose voice chat. Step three, type the word sound when you're searching on your computer and pull open this menu right over here. And you're going to select Wavelink Voice Chat, mic in, mic in. And then the final step is to configure in Discord according to what you are trying to do in Discord by clicking the gear cog in the bottom by your name, going to your user settings and going into voice and video, and then selecting probably mic in and probably Wavelink voice chat. And bonus step, as we mentioned a moment ago, is disabling all of your notifications within Discord so you don't have annoying bings and rings and stuff while you're trying to do your recording. Got it? Good luck. It's pretty simple. Once you have it set up for the first time, it always works. Elgato Wave 1 links below if you want to pick it up and its official accessories. Adios, amigos. Elgato is sponsoring me to teach you how to route in video conferencing calls from Skype, from Zoom, Google Hangouts, whatever you're using, Slack, Microsoft Teams. It all works exactly the same. You can route the audio from those calls into a sweet digital mixer that comes for free with the Elgato Wave 1 microphone. What do I mean? Bring in that audio from the call and capture everybody's voices. Then bring in your mic into the call, capture that as a part of the mix. Bring in some music if you want. Throw in some game audio. Do a presentation, whatever you want to do. It can all be digitally mixed here in the Wavelink software that comes for free with this microphone, free if you buy the mic. Cool? Here's step number one. Open up your call. So I'm going to use Zoom here. Open up a call and join with somebody else if you can. If you have to join with just yourself, pull open the desktop version of the video conferencing software and then pull open your phone to be the other person on the other side. that may or may not work depending on your software and whether you have multiple accounts. Preferably, you jump on a call with somebody else while you're setting this up for the very first time. That's step 1. Step 2, you have your Wavelink software installed, your firmware going, your mic plugged in. If you haven't done all the basic setup to get to this step, watch my previous tutorial videos on that. Empty channel in Wavelink, click the plus button, then go to aux1. Here under aux1, I recommend changing this to something that makes sense to your brain. For me, it's going to be Zoom, but you can choose whatever you want it to say. Mine will say Zoom. You can choose Google Hangouts or whatever. Got it? I'm going to mute my monitor mix so we don't have feedback. For me, you don't have to do that. That's step 2. Step 3, you need to route all of this through your computer. So how do you do that? On Windows, you're going to go ahead and type sound here in the search bar. And then once you type in sound, you'll see sound mixer options down there. Click sound mixer options, and it'll bring up this confusing menu. Don't worry, I'll make it simple for you. Just scroll down. And then this is why we opened your video conferencing software before we got to the step, is so that the source is now activated in your system and we can now mix it accordingly. So if you chose aux1 in your Wavelink software, choose it here under the top bar here, and choose it here under the top bar here. You may or may not get 2 sources depending on your video conferencing software, so don't sweat it if you don't have 2 versions of it here. Depends on your software. aux1 for the top bars. For most of you guys, in most applications, you're going to want to choose mic in for the second bar. Just follow me. I'll explain why in just a minute. Got it? aux1 on the top, mic in on the bottom. Check. Now, go to your video conferencing software of your choice and go to wherever the menu is in your video conferencing software where you choose your input and your output, your microphone and your speakers, right? So in Zoom, it's down here. You pick wherever that is in your software. Got it? So here under microphone, I've chose mic in because that's what I did in the system settings. Under speaker, I chose Wavelink aux1 because that's what I did in the system settings. Make sure you match the settings here in the software versus what you did in your system settings. For 90% of you guys, job's done. Everything's going to work great. So people in your conference call are going to hear only your microphone, and you are going to see their levels pumping in right here through Zoom or whatever source you're doing here, and you can record them, you can monitor them, you can do everything, which is great. Job's done. They're going to hear you, you're going to be able to record them, they're going to come into your digital audio mixer, everybody's happy. Now, for those of you that want to do something more complicated, which most of you guys probably do, or some of you guys do, here's how you do the more complicated version. So let's say that your vision for what's going on here is that you are in your home studio or whatever, you're doing a presentation, maybe you're playing back music, maybe you are adding some other audio elements, and you want people to hear a more complicated audio mix with more sources than just your microphone. Here's the best way to do that. What you're going to do is you are going to make sure that you have unmuted the microphone, the monitor mix right here. And in your system settings, we're going to go through the monitor mix instead of going through the mic in. So we're going to change it from mic in to Wavelink monitor and mic in to Wavelink monitor. Then in your video conferencing software, you are going to make that change as well to match. So go to where you choose your microphone in your video conferencing software and choose Wavelink monitor. Now, why did we do Wavelink monitor? I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible and not confuse you. The Wavelink software allows us to do 2 mixes: your monitor mix and your stream mix. Your monitor mix is down here and your stream mix is right here. Your monitor mix volume level and monitoring is here in each channel, and your stream mix is right here for each channel. So the reason why we want to do the monitor mix is that you can route a specific audio configuration through the monitor mix by changing volume levels on each channel for monitor mix, or muting each channel for monitor mix while letting everything else pump through the stream mix. So let's say you're trying to live stream whatever's happening on the call or record whatever's happening on the call. You can record the stream mix separately. Why would you want to do that? So the reason why is that you probably don't want to pump back through to the audience that's watching on your video conferencing software. You don't want to pump their own audio back into their own ears, right? They probably won't like that. So if you choose monitor mix, what you can do is you can mute their audio here under monitor mix, and their audio won't be going through the monitor mix and pumping back into themselves. You won't be causing a feedback loop. You won't be sending the people talking on Zoom in this example or your meeting back into them because you muted the monitor mix from going back into their ear. Got it? But their audio is still going through the stream mix, so you can record it and you can live stream it. Now, if you're getting confused, be like, what? If I muted the monitor mix for the call I'm on, how do I hear anybody? Great question. So what you're going to do right here is instead of clicking the ear button on the monitor mix, we're going to click the ear button on the stream mix down here instead. I'm not going to do that because that's not going to work for my recording, but you can do that, which means that you will be listening to the stream mix while you're on the call with everybody, but everybody on the call is going to hear your monitor mix. And what this does is it allows you to play everything that you're having here going here on your mixer to everybody on the call, but themselves, because they don't want to hear their own voices played back to them. And that's why you're muting it right here. Got it? So you've switched all those inputs over to monitor mix. You mute the headphones here and you switch the ear to this ear right here instead of this ear right here. And now you can do a fancy pants presentation where everybody can hear you. They can hear everything that's going on in your digital audio mixer, but they don't hear themselves. And you can take that entire mix and you can live stream it and you can record it. That is the, let's say, professionals version of this that many people have booked me for on consulting calls. Hopefully that was clear. Go back and watch the explanation again if it was not, and just mirror my settings and it'll just freaking work. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to pick up the Elgato Wave 1 mic, I've got links below, as well as the official accessories. Adios, amigos.